Everyone has an opinion about Canadian federal politics.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I want to know, without getting into specifics, I want to know about all the contacts, whether they be telephone, whether they be email, whether they be in person, all the contacts that you had with both Minister HEATUP and the clerk of the Privy Council during the implementation of the ArriveCAN app.
Hey gang, what's up? Just Aaron right here. Question period. Canada. Larry Brock is a man on fire. He used to be a big shot prosecutor in Ontario. Now he's doing federal politics. He lights up the House of Commons floor in question period all the time. The committees, he takes them over. You can tell he used to be a lawyer. So let's take a look at Larry Brock, the man on fire. Larry Brock is the real deal. Let's take a look.
Contracts has more than doubled, costing taxpayers $20 billion. And now we have a classic example of government waste and abusing the taxpayer. So I'm going to focus my questions to you, Ms. Jeffrey. You mentioned in the earlier rounds that ultimately you report to Minister HEATUP at the time during the implementation of the ArriveCAN app. She was your direct minister. And you also reported to the PCO, the Privy Council Office. Is that correct?
Yes, the role of the President of the Public Health Agency of Canada.
Yeah. And directly reporting to the PCO is the clerk of the Privy Council is who you'd be reporting to, correct?
For the purposes of the administration of the public service.
Right. But during the course of the ArriveCAN implementation, you are reporting to the Privy Council office. And you are aware that the Privy Council office literally acts as a deputy minister for the Prime Minister. Is that correct?
The Public Health Agency functions as part of a health portfolio.
I'm not asking about that, ma'am. I'm asking you about the structure of the Privy Council office. That's the question. And would you agree with me that that really acts as a deputy minister to the Prime Minister?
Yes, that's one of the functions.
Thank you. Now, I want to know, without getting into specifics, I want to know about all the contacts, whether they be telephone, whether they be email, whether they be in person, all the contacts that you had with both Minister HEATUP and the clerk of the Privy Council during the implementation of the ArriveCAN app. So how frequently, let's start with the Minister HEATUP, how frequently were you consulting with her and informing her about the implementation of the app?
So I would just clarify that it would be the role of the President of the Public Health Agency, since I've been in the role for 1 year, so not me personally. However, there was structured COVID governance focused on the measures that were being taken at the border. So here I want to distinguish.
Again, I'm not talking, ma'am, the question is very specific. I'm not talking about content. I'm talking about frequency. So whether you were in the role as the president or the deputy minister at all relevant times or another colleague, how often were you consulting, telephone, email, meetings with Minister HEATUP during the implementation of the app, but specifically the 177 versions of the app is the question. Can you provide an answer to that, please?
As it regards to the response to the COVID pandemic, the President of the Public Health Agency would have been in very frequent contact. I can't give a specific number, but in terms of the overall health response, the orders in council that developed the measures at the border, there was established governance that has been publicly disclosed.
Now let's move on to the PCO. Same question, frequency. How often?
There were regular committees and governance structures that met about the COVID response.
Okay. And clearly you were not sharing with either Minister Haidu or the Clerk of the Privy Council all of the failings that the Auditor General has identified. Were you?
The responsibility to put in place the governing structure around the development of the app was...
Were you explaining to them about all the failings as identified by the Auditor General? Were you explaining to them that we have no contract, we have no budget? Were you giving some indication that this is really falling off the rails? Did you do that?
We were briefing, I'm sure at the time, on the operational requirement to stand up a digitized mechanism.
Did the
to
minister
facilitate border
or
travel.
the Privy Council, the Clerk of the Privy Council, ever ask you about costs? Yes or no?
I was not in the role at the time, so I can't speak to that specifically. But I can say that the development of the app and the time pressures and the operational requirements.
It sounds to me, ma'am.
That is the time, Mr. Brock.
Thank you.
I'm afraid. Ms. Khalid?
Hey gang, so there we go, another wild and crazy committee video. We always get to see the best here. Larry Brock, Shannon Stubbs, Rick Perkins, Michael Barrett, Michael Cooper, Melissa Lanceman, Josh Raj, Halan. There's a long list, guys. I just mentioned only a few of the names. These committee videos, guys, are wild. We'll be covering Canadian federal politics, sharing that with you. Like, subscribe, share, get notified, all those fun things. Leave a comment. I do love the comments. That's it. We'll be back with more information to share and probably another committee video or two coming down the pipes. Remember to like and subscribe. It does help. My name's Aaron. This is Question Period Canada. Catch you next video. Thank you for watching this one.